Good morning, everyone. Give it just a few more minutes and we'll get started. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Good morning. We got some good stuff planned for everyone this morning. Won't take too long, get everyone into their holiday season, but we're very excited to share a few actionable pieces of information this morning as everyone's wrapping up their year. We'll give it just a couple more seconds. If everyone could, where's everyone joining from? If you could put the city, country that you're joining from in the chat, would love to see where our audience is from. And I'm just trying to fix my camera. Here we go. All right, what we got from the Philippines, San Jose, California, Berlin, Germany, North Carolina, Paris, France, Arkansas, Nigeria. This is awesome, everyone. The good thing is, no matter where you're located, what we're going to talk about today can be used. Give it just one more minute, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Also, if you could, please, any questions, please place them in the chat. I will be pausing periodically to make sure I try to answer them as much as I can real time. There will also be a question and answering session at the end of this. And then as always, if there's anyone who has additional questions, ways that the strategies or tactics that we talk about can be used specifically for your company, please reach out to us. Let's go ahead and get a call set up. But we're going to give it just about one more minute and we're going to get to diving in. So this morning's, share my screen, let's get going. All right, so this morning, what we'll be talking about how we can nurture our prospects and clients during the holiday season. Again, this morning's topic will be ways and strategic tactics that can be leveraged and that can be used on LinkedIn in order to nurture our prospects and clients during this holiday season. And to start, the reason this is a very important topic and the reason that we impromptu scheduled this today is because during this time, a lot of people, there's a lot of unknown when it comes to prospecting, nurturing, and a lot of people have this idea that business just stops all the time. And though in certain industries, that's absolutely true, in other industries, and I would argue in the majority of industries, there is still a nurturing that can happen that if you miss out on the engagement during these 3 weeks, when ironically statistics show LinkedIn usage is actually going to start to increase, you're really missing out on an opportunity to create strong momentum for first quarter. And that's really the gist. And what we really want you to take away from this is that this is about thinking and talking forward and thinking about the future. And again, creating opportunities. So as soon as we come back from that holiday break, we can create the momentum and we can just keep on rocking and rolling. And I saw Peter raised his hand. Peter, could you put your question in the chat for us? And then I'm going to get started and I'll try to address that as soon as I can. Get out of this. So the first thing that we want to talk about is hosting long-form written content. And we're also going to show a few different ideas here on how topics that you can pick to, again, nurture both your prospects and your clients. Again, a reminder, if you are not talking to your clients, your competitors also are. So this nurturing conversation we're talking about isn't just about the pipeline and about prospecting, but it's also about a retention play. So one thing that we wanted to let you all know is in June of this past year, LinkedIn actually doubled the character limit for their posts. So now you can post up to 3,000 characters long. Why is this important? Well, there's a few things that you can do. And these, again, I wanted to give you guys actionable stuff today. So 4 topics over the next couple of weeks that you guys can be writing about in depth is industry shifts and trends. The timing is perfect for that. What happened in 2021 from your and your company's perspectives that you can talk about? Where is the industry shifting towards next year? How can you leverage this to be the thought leader and expert that you want to be? Potential solutions for your clients. What new problem arose in 2021 that you guys and that your company is going to make a specific initiative or really pay special attention and focus on solving? Questions. We're going to talk about polls here in a little bit. This is one of the great uses of hosting long form content is that you can actually ask your prospects and your clients, what type of content should you be putting out next year? What are they missing? What gap can you come in and can you fill when it comes to their social media engagement and things like that? In company news, again, that's another thing that I really want to make sure that we're reiterating today is a lot of these webinars that we do are about prospects and closing deals. But again, one of the things that you're learning, if you can keep more of those dollars that you're bringing in, it's just going to make it so much sweeter to close those deals. And when you're adding that revenue in, it's also going to make your business development significantly easier, goals significantly easier to reach. So sharing company news, employee news, good news, great client news, these are all things that your prospects also want to see and engage. And here's the other cool thing. Again, we're going to keep talking to you about features and updates that have happened. In October of 2021, LinkedIn actually extended its article features to company pages. So now posts have been increased to 3,000 characters long. Articles have been increased to 100,000 characters. So now for everyone on this call that's in that very technical space, now we're talking about white papers and other publications that historically social media hasn't been the easiest to distribute them on. Now LinkedIn is really helping people really distribute and multi-use the articles and the content that they've been creating. Oh, thank you, Peter. Just wanted to touch base. So second thing, and this is really cool here, sharing downloadable content with LinkedIn carousels. I'm going to encourage everyone, a quick shameless plug, and actually really because we're trying out all of these features also. If you have not joined our social selling groups on LinkedIn, please go and join it. It's called Social Selling with Socially In. The reason I say that is because you are going to see one of these new carousel posts, so you can actually see how it's featured, how it's worked. But one of the really cool things is when you have large format or massive format, LinkedIn actually allows you to post it in more digestible posts. So historically, when we think of carousels, we think of platforms like Facebook and Instagram. You upload a photo dump from your weekend hike. And now you have all these, again, just like a photo dump. LinkedIn allows you to almost do like a content dump, and it's awesome. The other reason that it's really cool is because each of the options allows downloadable content. So on each slide, you can click to download more, click to learn more. So if you can create really engaging a short form carousel content like this, that you can lead to your longer PDFs, your deeper types of content and things like this can be really strategic as people are scrolling, capture their attention. Now you can get them in and get back and have them engage with your content. Again, we're talking about nurturing. So again, a lot of this is not going to be about the selling of it right now, but it's what can you be doing to stay in front of your clients, to be a resource to your clients and prospects, and again, continue to let them know that you're going to be there for them getting into 2022. Also, you can do simple slideshows, sharing statistics, different things like that. Those are some awesome other right now uses of content. You can include up to 300 slides. We only recommend up to 10. You can include up to 300. We only recommend up to 10. I just saw someone else ask a question. I'm going to take a quick pause, see if we can answer it now. Oh, that's Peter raising your hand. Let me know if you have questions, Peter. I know I see your message about accidental touches. And then last but not least, they are designed for downloading. Again, I want to reiterate that there are other places. We just talked about your posting, the article feature on your company page. If you want to plaster and put out the content itself in large format. The carousel is designed to give bite-sized pieces of information, quick, engaging, and then give quick access to more content and deeper content. The other thing, data collection. It also allows you to collect the data. So that's really, really cool because obviously now, once people are bought in, you can send them emails or just continue to engage with them afterwards. So that's the other cool thing about it is the data collection that comes with it. I told you guys that we would talk about polls today, and that is important. And the reason that it's important is because one of the best strategic uses of this, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, is the data collection piece, the poll piece, the idea of getting your audience and your prospects' opinions of what's important. What challenges have they faced? This is a great opportunity. You know, one of the things that we encourage you to do during this time is ask questions. Ask questions. It's not the idea to talk about what are the ways that you can solve all these and all the ways you're solving all these problems all the times. Sometimes it's just opening up and providing a space for your prospects to talk about them, because now you can figure out their challenges and their goals. So now you can be strategic with your post. So now if you're going to post 100,000 character article, what should that post? What should it entail? Now you can do that very strategically. And even assessing your audience's knowledge. Again, really good ways to gauge if the content you are putting out is appropriate. The other thing that this is really cool is that when set up appropriately, LinkedIn actually also gives notifications and poll results. So as you can imagine, the true nurturing and the few week nurture that you can do with this campaign by putting out this poll, engaging people, and then letting them know the results. And again, now how you can potentially serve and solve that problem right there. That's a very appropriate and great way and a great idea to nurture over these next couple of weeks. Still no questions, just wanted to check. Next, and this is important because one of the things that you'll learn is that as you guys start to put out this content and as you start to get people to engage, you will learn that there will be things that you want to manage. And so LinkedIn has done a very, very great job of actually allowing you to be very specific with the type of people you want to see your content, the type of people when they engage with your content, how they can engage with your content. And that becomes really important. So we also want to let you know that, again, as you're pushing out this content, take a couple seconds to look through the settings and features. Are you targeting the right people? Are there people who shouldn't be seeing this post? Do you even want to have comments, or is that appropriate? All of these things, LinkedIn allows you to have that flexibility for your industry. If you're in the financial and there's FINRA regulations and all of these different things, LinkedIn actually allows you to put together really great engagements, but you can really start to really hone in on your settings. And that becomes a really big deal, the larger and the more people that you start to engage with. And the other last thing that we wanted to say is even on individual profiles, this is both company and individual profiles, you can also limit, you can also control, you can also dictate who and how people engage with you. So we did want to point that out. Please take time to go through those settings. If you don't want certain people to see your post, did you know that you don't have to have those people see your post? It's little things like that that can really make sure your nurturing and your engagement is also strategic. It's spot on. It prevents you from talking to people about the wrong thing. This is also big for our serial entrepreneurs out there. We work with tons of people who run multiple business, who are multiple small business owners, small business owners, serial entrepreneurs. Please look into settings. It is a very easy way that you can dictate in how you can post and have your page hold multiple types of content for people. But most importantly, they can only see what they need to see. And that's really important. This is something we will absolutely be talking about. We will be doing a feature or a webinar next month on really deep diving into the features of LinkedIn. It's going to be because one of the things that they're doing is they're rolling them out, and unfortunately, LinkedIn does not always give everyone the opportunity. So there are certain things, and we will make sure to let you know that you do have to apply for LinkedIn. Oops. LinkedIn Live is one of those things. So again, this is one of those features that it could be awesome. Hosting events just like we're doing, just like you all are on right now, are great nurturing things, providing that resource. And the really cool thing is you can now host these things with LinkedIn Live, not just pre-recorded, not just hopping on Zoom and scheduling things like that. Again, I will reiterate, you do need approval from LinkedIn to launch this feature. Please reach out to us if you think that leveraging LinkedIn Live could be great for your strategy, and we can show you how to fill out the application and really get that started for you on your behalf. But again, this was actually launched, just a quick tidbit. This LinkedIn Live actually was launched in 2019. It just hasn't really taken off on LinkedIn like it did on some of the other platforms and things like that. So they've always had semi-like a version of this, but I'm very, very excited. We have just got our application approved. So we will be starting to leverage this. And just like we've told you guys, we will show you how to use these features. Join that group. You will see real versions of all the things that we're talking about right here. We really try to make sure we practice what we preach also. Again, we're going to talk video. 2022 video is going to be huge. We are a full service social media agency, so we also work with Facebook and other platforms. And the reason that I bring that up is because Facebook, for example, in 2021 had a huge, huge focus and push on video in their algorithm. We are seeing other platforms take that same approach, that same importantness. LinkedIn is one of those. You will start to see more and more video features that are going to be integrated on LinkedIn in 2022. Really be thinking your video strategy in 2022. It is one of those things that can absolutely separate you from your competitors. It is one of those things that adds a personality to you. Again, I'm going to reiterate that. It's one of those things that can add a personality and make you and your brand personable. LinkedIn has become extremely noisy this past year, and we all know it. So trying to dictate and trying to figure out what the noise, and if the noise is valuable, if it's coming from a bot, all of these different things, these become the things that separate you. So having video where people can see you talk, it's funny. We even recommend when it comes to live things like this, we even recommend keeping it as authentic as possible. We've had people who would go through and edit out the ums and some of those things. And we actually encourage you to keep that type of stuff in. As ironic as it sounds, people want to engage and people like seeing the realness of it. And that's one of the things that LinkedIn needs more of. It needs more people, more personality to it. So again, native video will be something that we're going to talk about. If you want people to promote your content, sharing, all of that type of stuff, you really need to learn how to integrate native video. It is going to be awesome. 10 minutes is the current length that they have. 10 minutes is the current length that they have. We do not encourage 10-minute videos. Typically and again, this is a very blanket type of statement. Typically what we'd say is we'd recommend probably creating a little bit more micro content. Yes, you can have that 10-minute video, but throughout that 10 minutes, what are the 30-second, 60-second, 45-second, 15-second, minute and a half? What are those clips that, again, you can take, be very specific with your audience segmentation, and then you can drive them back to the full 10-minute type of video. So again, the other thing that you can do, and this is something to consider, because we've talked about research and how you can use LinkedIn over these next couple of weeks for research purposes specifically. They have awesome analytics and videos. So one of the things that you can do is you can run different versions and A/B test your videos, looked at in LinkedIn analytics so that you can really see where are people watching, where do people click away, what's that engaging part. So again, you can make strategic decisions moving forward with your video strategy. It needs to be a strategy. I will say that That's one thing that we encourage people to do is all these things that we're talking about, they work significantly better when they're done strategically, you guys. They work significantly better when you know why you're writing an article, who your article is for, what is the definition of success when you push out this article, how are you going to capture people from this article, and when you do capture them, what do you want them to do, how are you going to move them through your funnel. These are all questions you have to consider with these things. It's not the idea of, man, I think I should just pop on a webinar. I think I should just highlight a video. These things work significantly better, again, when you take a step back and strategically say, how are we going to use this? What's this plan going to be? So I encourage you all to take a couple of days this week and really figure out how can we leverage some of the things that we're talking about right now. This is also something you are going to be seeing us highlight in our LinkedIn or in our social selling group. We will be talking about this also at the first quarter of next year in much more detail, and that is product pages. Product pages. For everyone on this call, especially people in the B2B product space and the B2B space, software products, this is one of the most awesome features that LinkedIn is rolling out, and it is the ability to build out a product page just for smaller companies like us, and it's for the tools and products that you have. It is a little different than the showcase page, if anyone is familiar with the showcase page. Like I said, this is specifically for, and I do want to take a quick step back and say, this is a little bit more geared toward folks who provide a tool or a provider of some sort. So for keep an example, we provide an automation tool, for example, it's perfect for that. But again, it's more importantly is they are now moving towards the product space that we can do for companies in the B2B page. So this is going to be really cool. You can also connect your LinkedIn product pages to your company and your personal. That's another big deal. Again, I'll repeat that. You can connect your LinkedIn product page to both your company account and your personal LinkedIn account. This can be an awesome way to nurture leads. The other reason that this is important, you guys, is because this is going to sit on your page and allow people to do all of these things. It explains what they do, the features, the benefits, who it's for. You can tag job titles. They are now changing the searches. So now people can search LinkedIn for products and services. How cool is that, you guys? That's only going to go to get even on a next level. LinkedIn is now adding contractors. So yes, for everybody who uses platforms like Fiverr, for example, you're trying to find and you may not have the best luck. This LinkedIn solution and shift could be really key for that. Because again, like I said, you can literally search for products, you can search for services, you can search for contractors. And if you are all of those things, if you sell a product, a service, if you are a contractor, you can put yourself basically in the pool to be searched. It's awesome. Y'all, you can upload videos, demos, screenshot, social proof, call to action, demos, free trials. Again, for everyone who sells a product, service, or provides a tool, LinkedIn product pages, begin looking into that now. Begin looking into that now. Because again, if you can get your core products that are key for our LinkedIn audiences during this time right here, people will be looking for services, you guys. Again, that's what we're talking about is what's important over these next 3 weeks. People are looking for services. People are looking who's going to be their team. What tools are they're going to do? Budgeting, marketing decisions, dollars are being assigned right now. This is the time to have your product pages up. Creator mode. This is another feature that, again, we will be talking about deeper. It's pretty easy. You can actually, everyone will have this option on their profiles now. This used to be another feature that essentially people had to get access to, but now everyone does have creator mode. And the reason that we bring this up is because for individuals on this call, I know this call is heavy B2B. A lot of folks use their personal profile to promote business. It's a great way. It's awesome. you will want to switch over to creator mode. Again, if you want deeper conversations about this, please reach out to me. But personal profile people, or people who use personal profiles to generate business and not their companies, you will want to use creator mode. You can feature, basically what it's going to do is allow your personal profile to essentially be positioned more like a business. Things like where your featured content is going to appear under your bio, all of your articles that you've posted. It's going to allow people to follow rather than connect. So typically follow is a feature of a company page on most social media platforms, but now they can follow you. So again, all of those thought leaders and experts on this page who've built up an awesome 10,000 person or 5,000 person LinkedIn page, this is going to be an awesome way to continue to get those people engaged with you. Just like with typical, when you follow a company page, it's going to send notifications. It's going to let them know when you post, all of that good stuff. It also automatically gives you access to LinkedIn Live. So if you activate creator mode, you don't necessarily have to go through the application process. That's something that we wanted to help you out with. Newsletters. That is also a feature that's going to be rolled out. I think we talk about that in here. If not, we will be talking about it here in January. But the next feature that they're going to be rolling out that we want to reiterate that's going to be important, because a lot of people host email newsletters on here. I get a lot of the email newsletters from a lot of you all that's on here. As they roll out more tools for that, things like newsletters are also going to be available on a personal profile. LinkedIn has really understood that people are using these personal pages to sell, and they are really shifting with that shift. And again, if you can shift as well with that, the momentum you're going to be creating in January is going to be awesome, or in December to start January will be awesome. Then as we start to wrap up, we only got a couple more and then we can get into some Q&A. Like I said, I was hoping that we talked about newsletters this morning. That is going to be an awesome feature. You can now create newsletters. They've had the feature out for a while for company and for people who use LinkedIn a lot. Just actually in November, when they rolled out creator mode that we've referenced, now you can deliver LinkedIn newsletters. And here's the cool thing about it. This does not take more work. And that's the reason that we wanted to talk to you guys about it today. The same newsletter you've already sent out in December, or you plan on sending out to your prospects and clients before we wrap up for the rest of the year, that same newsletter can be duplicated and just reposted over here. They make it extremely simple. It can be snippets, it can be blog posts, or it can just simply be the newsletter that you have. You can put this out to followers. I'm sorry, not only can you push this out and that you can promote this, but just like we just mentioned, this is why I encourage you to use creator mode. If you have creator mode activated on your profile, they will automatically receive a notification whenever you publish this. And then last or not least, again, contractors, please look at LinkedIn product pages in our services marketplace. We're going to do an entire webinar that early next month on LinkedIn Services Marketplace, because we really think that that's important for the audience that's on here to spend a deep dive of making sure your profiles are built to sell, but also that, again, you can leverage these features that people don't even know. So in October of 2021, just like I was talking, especially for people who use Fiverr and all of these other service marketplace platforms, LinkedIn is building their own organic one. You can tag people. You can directly send it out. People can search for it. So the other thing that this is really cool is people can actually request an RFP directly from your services marketplace right there. So if you are an agency that is on this call right here, you absolutely need to make sure that, again, your company is on LinkedIn Services Marketplace. So as we're wrapping up, again, and then last thing, yes, there is an option that's literally open to. And once you are open to, you can bid on projects, you can manage clients, you can request reviews from clients, all of those things. And again, I want to reiterate that because I went through that pretty quickly. You can also use this for client nurturing. Again, what we've talked about, the purpose of this webinar. You can request reviews directly from clients. Why is that important? Well, if you are selling, if you are nurturing, if you are engaging your prospects via LinkedIn already, I can promise you those same people, they want to know, how is your customer service? What results? What type of ROI can they expect? And make it easy for people. So if you can put that information right there on the same platform they're already engaging, as opposed to forcing them to go off of LinkedIn and go to your testimonial site and things like that, as we know in marketing and business development, the more times that you take people off or move people to another page, the more likely that you're going to have a drop-off percentage. So if you're already aware that this type of stuff is important, we can have that right there. You can request reviews, and it also makes it easy for clients to leave your reviews. So these last three features that we've talked about are things that over the next couple of weeks, you guys should be researching so that they can be implemented by January. This is a perfect time to test some of these theories. This is the perfect time to take some content, to take a video, to take things that you've already created in 2021 and test it out. There is no better time for that. LinkedIn usage is going to be up over these next couple of weeks. You are going to notice a lot of people who have not responded to you over 90 days are going to respond over that Christmas time, over that New Year's time. Time is going to open up. So you need to be prepared to engage with your clients however they are ready to engage, even if it just means how can you be a resource over these next 3 weeks. We are at 7:30. We have a couple questions. Let me get into the questions that we have right here. Can a video be a part of a carousel post? I want to say no. I want to believe that right now, the way that carousels are set up are you put them in as PDFs and they're essentially pages. Now, JC, I am going to confirm that. JC, can you do me a favor and put your email in the chat? I want to confirm, and I promise you I will get back to you. But I do not believe so. I do not believe so. I believe it was just PDFs, but I will check that out. Thank you, Jeremy. Do we have any other questions this morning? Any other questions this morning? I know we went through a lot, but again, I wanted to give you guys not just some theoretical and conceptual things to talk about this morning, but some actionable things that as soon as you get off this call, you can open up your LinkedIn and make some key, basic, but simple changes to nurture. I promise you, do not go dark over this holiday season. Do not think that people and that your prospects have just shut off their computers and that everybody's just hanging out over these next couple of weeks. You will miss an awesome, and I mean awesome, opportunity. Are we able to get the session recording? Yes, so actually, and I will put this in the chat to make this easy for everyone. The recordings can be found on YouTube. We do have a YouTube called Socially In. And we have a page that is called Social Selling. I'm sharing my screen so that you can see it. Again, so if you go to YouTube, search our company name Socially In. Oops. We have every single webinar that we have done this year is put on here. Every single webinar, any public webinar or any public workshop that we do that we have permission to share, any of that will be on here. I will try to send it out directly. Sometimes sending out this video this large to so many people kind of kicks back, and we try to stay out of like spam trouble and things. So we house it right here. And I'm going to also put this in the chat to make access easy for everyone. Again, I also encourage you, not just a shameless plug, but I really do encourage you to subscribe to that YouTube page. Again, we don't do any selling on that page. Again, I want to reiterate that there is no selling. All it literally does is house these resources for you guys. Same thing with our LinkedIn social selling page on LinkedIn. We don't do selling on it. We just provide resources for it. So the group is in the chat, the page is in the chat. Follow that YouTube page. It will give you a notification every time we upload videos, and we upload at least one, if not two, new trainings every single month. Steve Ryan, can you give your opinion on using InMail to introduce yourself to potential customers? Well, Steve, I can. There are certain industries that InMail works very well in. Staffing, for example. If you are in staffing, InMail is still an awesome. And if you know how to do it right, InMail could be a game-changing feature in LinkedIn. Now, saying that, a lot of other industries, InMail is going the opposite way. It does not have a very high response rate. Talking about closer to 99%. And here's why, Steve. And then I'll give you an opinion of what we recommend instead. The reason is because this year, as I've alluded to earlier, LinkedIn has gotten so noisy with the bots and the spam that an InMail request, number one, you already know someone's trying to sell you. Typically, there is no InMail that's trying to build a relationship or things like that. So it's fine because it's explicit. And if it's the right company, if it's the right timing, the explicitness of being sold isn't a big deal. So that's the first thing, is that, Steve, as soon as people see an InMail from you, they are going to assume they're being sold. Just like that. And now you put that person in a yes or no conversation. Do I want to be sold by Steve or not? Frankly, because InMail also tends to come from people you don't know, people you have no connections with, a lot of people don't want to engage with that. Now, what are our potential solutions for that? The first thing, Steve, is that we always encourage you to send a personalized connection request. So that's the first thing. We have run data over the past couple of years. We have an automation campaign that collects literally hundreds of thousands of messages and campaigns. We have found that it is exponentially, you get an exponentially increased connection rate by personalizing your connection request, for example. So that's the first thing you can do, as opposed to just sending a message without even being connected. Attempt to connect with them. And that's the other thing. And that's a good question, Steve, staying in this same vein of nurturing your prospects and clients. By doing InMail, sometimes it doesn't come off as genuine, because InMail really comes off as, you didn't even take the time to connect with me. You literally just want to try to sell me, and then boom, get out of here. So by at least sending that connection request and personalizing that connection request, it gives that opinion and that feeling of just a little bit more genuine, true connectedness. So that's the first thing. The second thing, if you are using InMail and different things to sell, to go after new prospects, we typically recommend starting with connections of your second degree connections. Start with the connections of your second degree connections. For everybody who knows degrees, there's first, second, and third. We do not recommend using InMail for third because of everything I just said, Steve. Starting with the second, because now you can also reference those relationships, things like that. That also has a significant increase to the response rate. Steve, does that answer your question? Do we have any MC? I saw a couple other hands raised. Perfect, Steve. Perfect. Any other, do we have any other questions this morning? Any other questions this morning that I could help? We're wrapping up. I did just put my email in the chat if anyone wants to, again, talk about how any of these things can be done specifically for their companies. Again, I know we do have people who are all over the world, so I will also put in my meeting link that can be booked. I saw we have people in Berlin and Germany and all of these places. So to make that easy, I will just pop my meeting link. Desiree, yes, we do, or Sylvia, yes, we do private consultations. Again, I'm going to put my meeting link in there just to make it easy. I'll give it a couple seconds. Andrew, brother, how you doing, man? Long time no see. I hope you and the family are doing well. So there's that. But again, we would love to talk again about how this information can be used specifically for your company. Strategically, what are the things you can be doing right now as individual business owners? LinkedIn is going to be awesome in 2022 as we start to wrap up here, you guys. In the business to business space, it can single-handedly game change your business. So I encourage you all to take to heart everything that we've talked through. Again, give us just about a day or so. This webinar will be on that YouTube page. Again, we encourage you to go to check that out. In the meantime, please also join our social selling page. I'll just pop that in the chat to make it easy for everyone. This easy for you guys. Whoop. All right, I'm just going to pop this in the chat for you all. Boom, like I said, go and check that out. We will post a few more things in this group for you guys. I want to just wrap up and say thank you all for your time. I appreciate it. Andrew, thank you for the compliment. Great questions. I hope I get to talk to you all before we wrap up the year. And if not, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to everyone. Safe travels to you and your families, and look forward to talking to everybody at the top of the year. We will continue to do this per usual. We will not have our typical webinar on the fourth Thursday of this month for the holidays. We will get back to the fourth Tuesday in January to our recurring webinar every single month. We'll have some more good stuff for you. Look forward to hearing from you all. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and a great holiday season. Thank you, guys.